hit the live. Make sure we are live, as we have had a few issues in the past. Let's have a look. We got to talk about you as well tonight, mate, obviously, because holy shit, he's off again. Another easy one.
Yeah.
You don't mind a match, do you?
No, I take what they give me.
You're not kidding. If anybody want to pull the devil in straps, yeah.
Somebody said in the comments, Paul's gonna avoid Bacho forever. I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna take whoever they give me.
Mate, Bacho looks unbelievable, doesn't he?
I
mean, it's Reno, isn't it? It's Reno that's going to get him. That kid's only 18.
No, that fell through, Neil.
Really?
Yeah, I think Bacho said something about
you. Around.
Yeah, huh?
Like a clash of teenagers, isn't it?
Yeah, but I guess it fell through. I think Bacho said like he wants to do it after Worlds.
Oh well, yeah, fair enough. I get that.
So, but Engen's still looking for a match for Reno, which is
mate. Reno Masic's one of my favorite arm wrestlers. Period. I just think he's a great, clean cut, immoral, strong, natural talent.
Yeah.
You get what's not to like.
Yeah.
He's
just a baby too.
Awesome.
Crazy.
Bacho. What can you say about that, lad?
I don't know. I mean, I'm still struggling to figure it out.
It's like you where's the ceiling? The thing is, off Reno and Bacho are probably, what's the right way of saying this? They're like the evolution of arm wrestling.
Right.
It's like I shouldn't make assessments that everybody sees, but in my opinion, I just believe like the current ascension, if you will, or ascendancy of the sport, and the fact that there's so much knowledge online and kids are pulling from silly young and they start, like we used to have a dance show in the UK. I can't remember what it's called, but it was like this frigging dancing competition, and kids had come on, everybody had come on from all over the country, and they had like famous dance instructors, and these kids had come on week after week. You'd see them and they'd come on and they'd just start like break dancing or body popping or whatever, and the level was through the roof, just unbelievable. And they'd say, okay, where did you learn to dance like that? And they'd say like, oh, in my bedroom in front of the mirror from watching YouTube videos. Just
YouTube and TikTok and whatever else.
Nobody trained them. Just a friggin' and they were incredible level, like amazing, got all the moves dialed in, super clean, every move. And you're like, wow. And I think arm wrestling, or sport generally, but particularly arm wrestling, is the same.
Well, right. It's like the evolution. I mean, like I take basketball as an example. Rewind time back into like the 60s, and there's these great players, and they play way late into their career, not flashy, just fundamental. And then as you fast forward in time, the average age gets younger and younger and younger, and the skill level and the ability level and the vertical leaps and everything just keeps climbing, and it climbs with the younger age, So it's like the evolution itself is like the more arm wrestlers that get involved at a young age, and the weirdos, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I did a podcast with Sasha's training partner, Mary, and he was saying about like Sasha. Like Sasha was one of those guys at like the teenage age that was just a total weirdo, and then came in with all those world championships, and now he's only 26 years old. So as any sport evolves and grows, that talent level, as it becomes more mainstream, is going to focus more towards the youth, and it's so crazy to think about.
It is. You wonder where it'll go. One guy steps out, gets to that level, and also it inspires other young kids.
Oh, yeah.
They'll think, oh, that kid's only 18, right? I can do this then.
That's the ticket. That's it right there. It's the inspiration to these guys to say, oh, okay, this is a sport. Like I know in the West, that's what we deal with, like the lack of like validity of the sport. Like nobody knows it's a thing. So it's only rightfully so that in the East, guys are getting in so much earlier and being so dominant at such a young age because it's known, it's in schools, that's the barrier that we got to bridge. The more we do this East versus West thing, the more I just dig into like why, the talent level, why are we old and everybody over there is young, and why, What's the gap?
Yes.
Where do we fill the cracks? You know.
But hey, but the resurgence. I mean, after the last East versus West, I think a lot of people probably were like, "Oh no, Team West got dominated and this, that, and the others." But the reality of the situation is, I said it last week when you back in the days of the Golden Bear, and in the 90s, and when I was coming up through the game, the US, North America generally were dominant. They were way advanced compared with the rest of the world. You had guys like Patton, Rhodes. I mean, Cobra Rhodes in Europe was the first. I would say North American superstar arm wrestler that came over and captivated the audiences in Europe regularly.
Right.
Doing things above his, above his pay grade. He used to go around and kick the piss out of people when he was 75, 80 kilos, and he was whacking everybody and looking impressive doing it, had that swag. Now, they used to go to the Golden Bear. They put together the top team. You get guys out there. Even people like that many of the new guys may not know, but Dave Hicks. All right. So for those people who are in the chat who've not been around the game, do your homework on Dave Hicks. Dave Hicks, not only is he one of the loveliest, straightest, most genuinely awesome dudes you could ever wish to meet. He's a unassuming, understated, magnificent arm wrestler. And if you watch Dave and you knew Dave back in the day, the guy was imperious, unbelievable puller. But he would go over there and smash the living daylights out of people. So North America would just roast everyone. What happened? It lit a fire under the Russian team, under the Georgian team, and suddenly those building blocks come. They're inspired. It's like the Rocky film. Let's get out and train in the snow. Next thing you know, off they go. They get going, and who the hell? Who does that more than you? You're like the most diligent, down to work dude.
Well,
that's where the respect's come in. People love you for it, Paul.
Well, that's it, Neil, though. And I think that's hey, we get 7-0 at East versus West. If that doesn't light a fire, then I don't know what does, And now we got this qualifier finals coming up. And I'm talking to Travis, man, we got to make sure the best are in here, we got to do a last chance qualifier. We need to get everyone involved and let's level it up.
You think I know the guys that are coming though, mate, through North America. Dustin Hyatt's a good example. He's a poppy, and he's already knocking on the door of the top guys in his class. How many others are out there that are just waiting to break into that level? And they're 21, 22.
Did you catch that the results of that 154 round robin in the United States?
You know what? I did not. I want to put an excuse in real early though, on behalf of the unbelievable Kevin Palco. Yeah. Because what I will say to all of North America who watched that round robin, how the fuck did that kid even turn up at an event the week after? Because what you guys didn't see is not only did he pull that match, wait till you see the left.
Hell no.
Which we ain't put out yet. Yeah. And also, the dude pulled every goddamn day. He was on the table beating my ass up after the show. The next day on the practice table, jumping all over me. He wouldn't stop after that match.
Neil, that's a guy right there that is a prime example of what you're talking about. He's pot committed. He will do everything. He'll travel. He's going to do whatever it takes to be better and get to that level.
I love him.
I know. I've met him multiple times. I've gotten to train with him. He is he's pure gold.
He's pure gold. Falco is iron dick.
Yep.
Love it.
Absolutely.
What an hombre. And how many, these guys now who out there, who's picking up the gauntlet, who sees that the Team West got beat and then thinks, and you get that kid, that Dustin Hyatt kid, don't tell me they're not there in America. Don't tell me that there's not that guy watching this show right now who sat there at home, working his thumb, working his pronator, doing all this stuff that he's seen on YouTube, and in 5 years' time, he's just waiting for that shot. Well, knock on my door, mother, if you're out there, because I want to meet you, and I want to put you on matches, and we want to see where we can take you. Contact Paul. contact any of us. Let us know you're out there, and we will get.
Look, man, we are going to do a last chance qualifier right before the actual event. We have slots to fill because we want 18 people in the bracket, and we might only get 9 per class. I mean, the West turnout was not that good. I don't think they had more than 7 or 8 pullers. So if you guys are interested, basically it's a freebie. Now I don't want to say it's a freebie because I don't know how many's going to show up, but like, we need 8 to fill. You can get up there and lay down or whatever, but like, let's fill these classes up and let's make this finals, this pay-per-view we're going to do for the finals. Let's make it awesome. You know, I know Robbie Russell reached out before we even announced the last chance qualifier. Was like, is there any way that I can get into this thing? You know, like, he's another guy that, like, this guy's on that level. And I was like, yes, Robbie, we are working on it right now. We want you here, like, for sure.
Yeah.
You know,
they're out there. They are out there.
He's another one for Arm Wars, Neil.
Oh, I love him. Robbie Russell. If you track back the fix, you know, Paul, years ago, I was saying, got my eyes on. There's a few guys I have my eyes on. Kevin Palco, before the Savage Search went, I'd already spoken to guys like Jeff Hale. Like, I'd seen him on videos, didn't know who he is, and I've been like, that guy. And
Let me give you
Jeff Hale, who the fuck is this guy?
Let me give you another one.
That's Kevin Palco.
Another one. Do you know Black Ice, LaRon Baldwin?
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
That is the guy. No social media.
Love him.
No social media. He just beat Jeff Hale left-handed at sit downs.
Mate, Black Ice is quality. He's also fiery. He's also, he's a character. Can I just say though, Jeff Hale, the king. If you're looking for entertaining arm wrestlers and absolute standout human beings, Jeff Hale is the king.
100%.
Love him. He's absolute class. Jody Williams, welcome to the mother fluffing house.
What's up, Joe? How are we doing today?
Hey, turn your phone on its side, mate, then we can see you in your sexiness.
What's up, brother?
We got in the chat as well, because I haven't even looked. Phil Wood of UK's in there, that's all I know. Brad Butler's in the house. Dangerous Dan, Carolyn Looms, Timmy Turner, let's go, not my monkeys. He's the man. M. Will. Who else have we got in there? I saw Lightning. We're all in there. Tell you.
What I missed so far, guys? What I missed so far?
Mate, just as we were coming on, I was telling the mighty White Oak that I am knackered to the level. I mean, I'm not a well man, mate. This morning I coughed so hard I sucked my trousers up my own ass.
You're always sick, Neil. You better fix that immune system.
Mate, myself and I'm the healthy one. You should see James Statham. I can send you messages, mate, from James Statham, literally like 10 minutes before the second. We had like last minute stuff come out of left field at you when you're uploading stuff, because it's a bit of a minefield when you're uploading some of the massive file sizes. And he says, "Oh shit, Neil, we got a lastminute.com problem." And I hate it when he says that, because I'm like, "Oh, shut the fuck up. Don't tell me we got a last minute." And he's like, we do. And I'm like, "Oh God, James, how does this always happen?" And he's like, "Yeah, file size is so frigging big. This thing's been uploading for like 10 hours, silly amount of time." And I'm like, "Shut up, you tart." He's like, "No, can't get it up." Right. What we're going to do, going to have to split it into 2. I'm like, "No way." Yeah, we're going to have to split it into 2, show it in 2 parts. So I do a release, tell everybody that's what we're going to do. But then you get a few, so we upload it and it's up in time, but people can't find the link for the second part. So we're like, "Oh, wait a minute, we're going to have to put it back 5 minutes so that people can at least find the link." Anyway, then they started finding it and it was good. But it's just these last, Brad Butler. Don't worry, mate. The reason I'm always sick is because I've got chronic sarcoidosis. I've got a cell disorder which has been with me for like 8 years now. Nothing I can do about it. Probably kill me at some point, but while it's not doing, let's go. Still here.
Probably kill me at some point, but don't worry about it.
Yeah, well, not a lot I can do about it, mate. Not a lot I keep walking forward. But that is the reality of the situation. Do you know, this goddamn moth haunts my ass. There he is. So, yeah, that's where we were up to, Jody. We've just talking about who's the guy to pick up the gauntlet and do a Paul Lynn all over North America. Because let's be honest, you and Sasha that was the match that it was a Rocky film.
Yes, we need to have that match again. And I personally think, Paul, you are the next Captain America in my eyes. Anyway, you go out there, it's just I just see Captain America written all over you, and the fact that you went out there and dug deep, and after round 2, I was like, oh, it's over. He's our guy, and things didn't go your way. You said you admit to it. There's a few things you need to tweak and stuff, and I'm sure you'll figure that out. You probably figured it out the second day you came home. But, I think this is the guy, Neil. I think at some point we will see Paul Lynn, going over to England. At some point we might see Paul, land at King of the Temple. That's just my opinion from what I've seen, because I'm a guy that's like, all you need is opportunity, right? So, yes, Paul Lynn got the opportunity against John Brzenk. Open some eyes. But when that match with Ron Bath happened and he beat Ron Bath, sky's the limit. Now, all of a sudden, you have people knocking on your door, you have people on your phone, and you just took it and ran with it. And I just want to say thank you, Paul, for, doing what you do, because you made me a fan.
Thank you for the support, man. I really appreciate it. The positive energy means everything to me. And like Neil and I was talking about before we got on here, really, I owe a lot of that to training partners and the motivation that you get from being forced to level up. Like you said, Neil, when we get over there and the East is just killing us and and everything else, that forces our level up. That adversity is going to force the change. Like when things are good and things are easy, you get stagnant. When things are hard, when you lose, you learn, you grow. That's the only way. So you got to kind of embrace it. And I think like if everybody from the West takes that approach and says, nah, we're going to take these lumps and we're going to look at it like we're hungry now, it'll force the level up and it'll be organic.
But we're also saying, Joe, about the new guys that are coming out. We started out with the comments about Reno Masick, and also about Bacho. These kids are both 18, 19 years old and both unbelievable level already. And we were talking about who will rise from the rest of the world. There are more to come. We've got Bacho's dude in Georgia, Reno Masick. We've got guys like Dustin Hyatt, closer to home where you guys are. We've got, obviously, Elliot Eccles, who's only a puppy. These guys.
That is one of my favorite pullers now, by the way.
He has grown. Elliot Eccles has grown since bloody Iron House 3. He's evolved. In that time, he's evolved. And this is called the young, you see. They're just killing it, mate. Well, let me tell you a little aside, right? Little story, funny story, this. This is if James JCJ Wank Statham was on here now, he would tell you this went down, right? So East versus West, just before the fucking gas leak happened, right? So we're stood tableside, and I can't remember who I was talking to. It might have been Sasha, and suddenly this kid walks up to me, super clean cut little Scandi kid. I want to say he was from Denmark, right? And he just says, "Oh, can I get his mum actually is there with him." And funnily enough, Jay Wank says to me, he goes, "Oh, like you selected who you spoke to there, and you were paying a lot of interest," thinking that I was like thinking his mum was a bit of a smoke show. Actually, not. She was looking last, but not genuinely. Wasn't on my mind. What was on my mind was this kid's 13 years old, and I got into arm wrestling when I was like 12, 13. And this genuinely resonated with me. This kid's like, "Oh," he goes, "Mr. Picker, we're really nice. Can I get a picture with you?" I'm like, "Of course you can, dude." And I said, "How old are you?" He says, "I'm 13. And it just made me think, holy shit, I used to be this kid. Yep. It made me think, I used to be this guy. And I said, "Yeah, of course you can. Where are you from?" He said, "Denmark." I said, "Do you pull? Here's the cool thing. Not yet, because my mum and dad are worried about me doing it. They're concerned about me doing it. Yep. But I've come to watch. I'm well into him. I've just come to watch. He's a fan. He's flown from frigging Denmark.
It's crazy.
To watch.
Wow.
What's that?
It's crazy. That's what needs to happen. That's it. That's what needs to happen. Kids got to get bit at the young age, and they got to believe, like, they got to see the real thing too. Like, it can't be like the stuff that we do at a bar, It's got to be the real thing and say, like, you know what, this is it. This production is it. This quality is it. And this is what I want to do. Because there's nothing that's going to, Like over here, there's nothing's going to sway kids away from basketball, baseball, football.
No,
you know, it's
Right.
not going to happen unless a real product's shown to them
Mm-hmm.
and a real path.
Second, where was other thing I was going with this, right? So I get a message. I actually put it on my Insta today, right? And this, I love this. So Mr. True, okay, this is a comment from a fella called Mr. True on the Arm Wars channel, and he just put, he was watching the Dark Card 2, which we'll get on to later on, and he just goes, started watching alone, finished crowded by family, all watching.
Mhm.
Well done, great production. Now that gave me a semi-off.
Yeah.
I'll tell you why. Because that is exactly what we are trying to achieve.
That's what you're going for.
That's the one.
Mainstream non-fan buy-in.
I mean,
Yeah.
you know, what can I tell you? So many, you've got the people that don't believe it, and you're always going to have those that are negative around there. I mean, I know Pradeep has many times been on his show and said he doesn't believe in what I'm doing, and that's fine. Opinions vary. My opinion is that this kind of format does appeal to a very wide audience within non-arm wrestling. If you can get that message out there, you know, and they see it, it is easily watchable. It's very watchable for non-arm wrestlers. And I've done a lot of trials on that, and that's what I've genuinely seen. I've shown it to non-arm wrestlers and said, what do you think of that? And they said, oh, that's way better than that other stuff we've watched, which I used to produce, but they much prefer this. They say, oh, yeah, that format's better. They can watch it. I've shown it to different age groups, different audiences, demographics of all types, and just done a live trial. Do you like it, this kind of arm wrestling or this kind of arm wrestling? And that's what you get back, you know. I used to try and hammer that message home with Eurosport. But what I will get is that the people that I spoke to, these young kids, that's the information I get back. What got you into it? Oh, I caught some of the Arm Wars stuff.
Mhm.
And, you know, we started watching it, and my mum and dad watch it, and we all watch, and I'm thinking, awesome. That is exactly what we're going to. So you've got the layers. I feel like right now, East versus West is doing an amazing job for the purist fans and for anyone that gets into arm wrestling that can see the elite lads every week. King of the Table, similar.
Right.
I think the smaller promotions that are operating and just grinding on the coal face over here, we've got, you know, a smaller promotion. I'm not knocking them, but a smaller promotion. Arm Gods that do a lot of stuff with, you know, some new and upcoming lads here in the UK. These are essential things. In North America, the stuff that happened with the 12-man round robin and all that are like it, you know, your usual suspects that are out there just grinding away at the coal face, doing week after week, year after year, getting those grassroots pullers, because that's where the talent is coming from.
Yep.
Sure.
Those are the guys going to unearth the talent.
And I like the way, because all these promotions give somebody something, you know. Wall, when they were out at his highest peak, it gave somebody something. So I do like the way that we have King of the Table. It brings that particular, you know, crowd. East versus West, you know, Monster Factory, Arm Wars, Arm Gods. It always brings something to somebody, because I tell you, about 5 years ago, arm wrestling wasn't as involved as it is now, as far as pullers all over the country. You know, I mean, we've, you know, evolved. So therefore, it's always good to have these different organizations, but there's always a little tweak. So like, and sorry, Neil, but I always feel like I got to defend you when I hear all these naysayers just kind of sit there and just get on you about, oh, it's not live and blah, 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 blah. And I'll say this, and I may be a little biased because I was a part of the Arm Wars Iron House, but I'll say this, though. You have to understand that the way you guys do things, you don't get the frozen and the things are spinning, you know, when people are pulling, they freeze for a second. You don't get that when it's edited out, right? How many times, and I'm not knocking East versus West, because Paul, you've known this. How many times have you ordered a pay-per-view? All right, I got my boys ready. We're practicing. East versus West about to start. And then all of a sudden, we do a countdown, and all of a sudden, you have to reboot, come out, you know, log back in. Well, when you do Arm Wars and it's re-edited, you don't have to worry about none of that stuff. And I think people are kind of missing the boat on that. But I could be wrong, though.
Listen, Joe, I'll be honest with you, mate. I have not a bad word to say about, and I know you haven't, but East versus West to me is phenomenal. I love them.
Yeah.
I love Engen. I love what he's doing. From our perspective, with Arm Wars, one of the reasons that I didn't want to go live is it's simply right now not what we're trying to do. It's not the concept, and I really feel like I've struggled to get that core message across. Like I know I mentioned Pradeep earlier on and he always refers back to, oh, you know, Neil's not open to guidance or objectives or advice. But the funny thing is, I've been doing this for 30 odd years, and what he's talking about, I have done that. I've done that. If you check back, you'll see we've done that before. So we know what we're talking about. We've run live events at all levels, the biggest in the world. Been there, done that. Just not interested in doing that now. That is already being done. East versus West are doing that really, really well. I'm supporting East versus West. I don't want to work conflictually with East versus West. I'm close friends with Engen. I talk to Engen all the time. I'm trying to complement what Engen is doing, not work against Engen. I'm trying to complement what King of the Table is doing, not work against them. I've no interest in working against them or doing an alternative promotion, doing more of the same. What we're doing is something utterly and completely different.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we didn't want to do the live, or one of the reasons that it doesn't work, is because we're looking to do a totally different level of production quality and formatting within the show. If you watch, those of you who don't want to buy the pay-per-view, just watch the free view. Watch Kevin Parker and Craig, and you'll see that there is a distinct difference in format. It's a different format. Now, the funny thing is, that's our week format. That's when we've not edited. That's not the film version. That's the week edit. We'll make a much better version than that. That's our kind of version of what we call the as live. It's like it's shown in a format which suggests that it's like live. We're not trying to make it live. We're telling you up front, it ain't live. But what it is to give you the feel of live or the entertainment value of live. We keep away the results so that the guys there can interact in the chat as though it is live. You with me?
Yes.
So I think I see the whole thing, Neil, and I think I've seen the whole thing for a while. And you know, this topic has been beaten to death, you know, since that first dark card. And I remember talking about the dark card with Michael Todd, you know, right after it happened, about the concept, you know, and he was like a big believer in, like, you know, how awesome is this to be able to hold an event, not, you know, at any date, not necessarily promote it, conceal the results, you know what I mean? Release it in a high produced, you know, version. I think you may have talked to Michael about this. And then he reiterated it to me, and we were just, you know, milling around on concepts. And I think the thing that people miss in everything is that in arm wrestling, like whether it's a local promotion like in the States, or it's a big budget promotion that is going to go global and get a lot of traction, it doesn't really matter. Everybody has a business model, and every business model is different. So when you look at East versus West King of the Table live pay-per-view, that is a known quantity. That is a staple. It's a thing that we have had, you know, we've had through WAL and, you know, Top 8 and everything else. We've had that. We know it. We know it works. It's like a reproduction of a thing that you know is already established. Mm-hmm. What you're doing is something not new necessarily, because you've done Arm Wars for a long time, but now with the dark card and everything else. But that concept is almost like, you know, like a startup. Yeah. Like, it's going to take time. And yes. I know you have the patience because you've talked about it. Like, we are going to do this and we are going to keep doing it. We're going to keep investing it. It's going to catch on. And when it does catch on, it brings new fans, then it, you know, who knows where the ceiling is. So and I think
you made a great point there, Paul. And it's one, and I know it's a very accurate point. We are not, you don't think that today I'm on the phone to James and I'm saying, look, I made pages of notes.
Hey guys, not to interrupt, but how long are you guys going to be on tonight?
Not long, an hour.
Okay, I got a show coming up in about a couple minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. It's interesting. Paul Passport's wife Candy's going to be in a match against MMA legend Dan Severn coming up at Michigan State. So it's going to be Beauty versus the Beast.
I thought Dan Severn was pulling Danielle Everson.
It was, and she couldn't do it. So now we reached out to Palm Passport and wife Candy. So I'm gonna have her on momentarily. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for that. That's gonna be exciting. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready for that. But hey, good thing is though, they changed my work schedule and I got Sundays off, so I can chime in on Sundays. Yes, sir. So that's my friend.
Stick it easy, Joe.
Yes, right, everybody. Talk to you guys soon.
Take it easy.
Take care.
So, yeah, what I was saying there is the first thing is Engin takes some stick, right? Everybody will think, oh, well, let's advise Engin do this, talk about this, make it better, tell him how we can improve. Engin is working his ass off trying to pull together amazing events.
He doesn't sleep. He doesn't sleep. Sometimes he calls me and texts me, and I like look up Istanbul time. Like, what the hell time is this? 4:30 in the morning. Like, what is it? But he's just he's willpowering.
Engin is obsessed. Right? Engin is a super obsessed dude. He's it, obsessive compulsive mother fluffer, right?
He is willing this to happen. It is sheer willpower.
And if Engin, I feel like if Engin could step out of himself right now and look at himself, he'd be saying, "Slow down, you dick. You'll fucking kill yourself." Engin is going for it like a nut job. And then I look at Jason Statham and myself last night, and Big Jesse J. Wank and me are both ruined. He sends me a message and he's like, "Man, I'm shit." You're doing the same thing. I'm like, Jesse J.
The fact that James is more stressed than you is a problem. You can go right until he dies.
It's ridiculous. When I said to people like, "Oh, you always ill," no, it's because he's stressed off a tits. Because when you're doing something like that, you're going flat out to that point.
Yeah.
You push too hard. You go getting nuts. I'm gonna have to knock over a couple of super chats real quick because I'm conscious. A couple came in and I ain't done. So let's just knock these over. Oh, Engin's forehead taco in the mother fluffing house. Thanks, mate. Thank you for your super chat. Much appreciated. He's put, if Jerry beats Hermes, is he the best arm wrestler in North America? Is he the best arm wrestler in North America right now after Devon's loss? We need Jerry and Devon at Arm Wars. Yes, we do. And I am going for it. Devon wants it. I've talked to Jerry about it. Let's fucking go. Arm Wars 2023 or 24. Let's go. That's the only one I want. It just makes so much sense. Arm Wars is the home of that match now. Yeah, for so many friggin' reasons, because there's so much story there.
The war,
I will blow that match to bits.
Yeah.
We will make that like a friggin'
to answer that question, I think the toughest thing for Jerry, in his plight to be, the number one in North America or the number one in the world, is all based on style and how people perceive his style. Because he can have a good or bad stylistic matchup, but he might be able to beat the number one guy in the country, in North America or in the world. People are still going to question because he goes to the flop, But I think you got to take Jerry for what he's done, he's winning, So, but rather than saying who's the best, because a guy might be able to do 2 or 3 different things, and Jerry goes to his ace all the time. I mean, if no one can beat it, is he not the best?
And in this game, like in all combat sport of any description, you never know. On any given day, guy hits you right, something happens. It can change your day. It can change your circumstances in a heartbeat. Whoa, Engin Turs is in the chat. Oh, Phil Woody's then put Engin Turs in the chat. Even now, Tursey.
Tap him in. Let's talk about some stuff.
Yeah, I always send him the link, but he's he's put another cracking set of matches together. I was on the phone the other day, bouncing them by me, and I'm like, yes, let's go.
I know. Engin, get on, man. Let's talk about this.
Absolute quality. So Joe Mama, just come in the super chat. Joe, thanks, mate. Hope you and your family are well, dude. He's put, Paul, never happy with a loss, but you showed the F out against Sasho. Proud of you, my man. Didn't he just? What the frick? I mean, it was a stupid match. I didn't see that as a loss. I saw it as a frigging screaming war. Mate, you must have enjoyed that.
Oh, gosh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Match.
Yeah, no.
Tell me something I can't do.
There's not an ill feeling after that match at all. It's just like, hey, look, that's how it played out, and I ran out of gas. And now I know where the cracks are, and I need to patch them. It is what it is, and I'm just happy to be able to be on the table with that guy, and more than anything, be able to chat with him for the rest of the weekend. Get to know him, get to know his trainer. And like I'm looking to potentially go train with those guys, man. I want to learn more about the Hungarian system. I've learned more now as it is already. And I'd love
baseball.
But they're like the best people. Like they're awesome.
I mean, Yashevsky.
Oh my goodness.
The friggin' nucleus. Unbelievable arm wrestler. Just an unbelievable arm wrestler. You've got so many guys with so much talent. I mean, people have been given Krasimir Kostadinov stick. How can you give that guy? The man is iron.
He's a legend. A legend. And now we're going to get to
wait for him and Rob.
Oh my, I know. I love that.
I've been talking about that match forever.
I love it.
Rob will tell you, I've propositioned him on that match forever.
I love it.
Just, hey, Kevin Palco's in the chat.
My guy.
Kevin Palco in the chat. Ladies and gents, if you are not subscribed to Kevin Palco Arm Wrestling, you're missing out. Get over there.
Get on it.
If you haven't seen Kevin Palco's match
look at it.
with Craig Sanders last night on the preview, it's totally free. The ARMWRESTLING channel. Get over there, check it out. Preview match from last night. Holy Christ.
Yeah, it's already got a ton of views, man. And it's good. It's good.
Amazing. It's good. Kevin, you're a bad dude. Absolute animal. How that guy even considered them pulling a friggin' 12-man round robin only like 7 days after he left us over here. Kevin, you're insane. There's no way. I'm like, when he was in the UK, I said, dude, you can't pull next weekend.
Yeah.
Your elbow will be smashed to bits. Yeah. He said, I'm gonna try.
Yeah, he was in like for minutes in these weird those I don't have my hand, but I got my fingers and I'm just going sideways.
Terrible.
I can only imagine.
Just the most incredible position. But mate, he'll be back. I can't wait to get that kid back in a match. 100%. Love him. Palco and Sanders was amazing. Anybody that hasn't seen it, get over there, check it. Incredible stuff. If you haven't seen the dark card from last night, dark card 2, criminal stuff, mate. It was mega. Joe Mama's just come in. Tell me what I can't do. It's got to be on a shirt, hasn't it, Joe Mama? It's now up with tell me I'm the greatest. Needs to be on a shirt. Hashtag tell me what I can't do on the back of the shirt.
It's in the works, Neil. We'll have it on June 3rd. Big ugly ass. Big ugly orc on the front. Not my face, it's an ugly orc.
Absolute quality, mate. That's what you want. So let's have a look. So let's Silky Wilkie's just come in with a super chat. Silky Wilkie, thanks, mate. He's put Craig doesn't change expression. Did he get his face tattooed on? All I can see is the Joker grin. Yeah, he's like the English version of Frodo Hoagland. They don't stop smiling ever. It's like their entire life is conducted like they're having a 2-girl blowjob.
He was so impressive, though. He was so impressive in that match.
Oh,
yeah, so impressive.
It's
very technical.
The dream way you want to start any card.
Yeah.
If you put your undercard matches out,
his ability to sustain his pronation and cup throughout all of that, because Kevin switched up a couple times, very well, and he put a lot of pressure on him. He set up different in the strap, leaned back, got height, he did everything, and Craig just still maintained. His pronator must be made out of steel.
He is quietly, unbelievably experienced, Paul. Yeah. I mean, he's been doing it forever.
Such a good match.
And I think now that he's slowed down a little, he's more reliant on that experience than he ever was before.
Yeah.
But the pedigree of Craig is amazing.
He's still snappy though too. It's not like he's, I know he was always a hit guy and everything. He's still snappy. He shows crazy bursts. Yeah.
Yeah, he's had, if you look at his last 4 outings, he's had battles with Rolly Ray, which was an amazing match. Absolute back and forth match at the reality check. He had another one with Kristaps Blemanis.
How heavy was he against Ray?
Oh, weighed about 81, 82 kilos.
Okay. How heavy was he in this one?
78.
Okay.
Yeah, 78, 79 kilos. A little bit
How
heavy.
heavy was Kevin? Kevin a little lighter?
Kevin was lighter, yeah. I want to say Kevin was probably 74.
Well, that's where it gets weird because Kevin is so muscular that you can't tell.
Oh,
So-
his forearms are jacked.
I was thinking about that mid-match, like because the way Craig's built, they look the same size. But in my head, I'm like, and then I'm thinking about that 154 round robin, and I'm like, is Craig 154? No way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So similar in height and so similar in sort of physical spec, but yet such different builds.
Yes, completely.
And styles.
Mm-hmm.
Very different styles. But what I liked about Kevin's approach to the match, he'd done his homework. So he knew that trying to dive headlong into Craig was probably his best bet.
Yeah.
And he couldn't have gone any harder.
Yeah.
Simply couldn't have gone any harder. And it turned into just an amazing match. Best match on the card, in my opinion.
Kevin doesn't have a reverse gear. He does. It's
No.
not there. Yeah,
no, he's all gears forward, isn't he?
He's pedal to the metal, man.
Oh.
And he'll hang on a weird spot too. And he'll win from there too.
Yes. He's made a career out of it over there, hasn't he? He's just been killing it. And I feel like this round robin, you'd gathered together quite a lot of North America's best talent at that weight class. It seemed.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, 54 is kind of a vague class at times because you got guys coming up in weight all the time. You don't know who's really settling there. But yeah, I mean, Hunter Knopf's won the whole thing, which was impressive because, with Kevin coming off of that, I would have picked Roman Gromall. He finished second. So, but I don't think I would have had Hunter finish in the whole thing. And I think he beat everyone. So super, super impressive.
Who were the other? Was there any guys that were missing from that lineup at that class?
I don't know. Who can make it? Like Jeff Hale can make it maybe, but like he wasn't, who are the guys? Like who are the guys that can make 54? Guys in the past, like a Sam Harris could make it. But I think we kind of just got the guys that are settling around there, like the Cody Woods, some LaRae Jenkins, like the guys who are always there. So I don't think that there was like anybody who necessarily didn't make it. I would have liked to see Black Ice in there. I already mentioned his name. Yeah. Because I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to win the whole thing, but he's going to mess somebody's day up for sure.
Man, what happened to Sam Harris? Where'd he go?
Sam is actually going to, I think Sam is coming to the last chance qualifier, Race versus West.
Love that guy.
Yeah. So Sam, look, so what happened with Sam is simple life stuff. He's got his daughter. He's got a very, very, very successful roofing business that is taking up a lot of his time and making him a very good amount of money. So for him to be able to justify arm wrestling, it has to be like, all right, what's the cost benefit? So he's still training because, I mean, he's got his brothers and his whole team. He got a whole handful of brothers to train. And they train every week. But yeah, I think it's more of a life thing. And I think when we had that transition from WAL to COVID to the new era of arm wrestling, we lost a lot of guys. Right? Me and Rob talked about it after the event in the lobby for hours.
He used to be one of your guys, didn't he?
Yeah, he's. I mean, I talked to him yesterday. He's talking about coming back. But we lost a lot of these guys in the sauce, like in between, just because a lot of life things and everything else. But then we had that hiatus. COVID messed people's minds up. They shifted focus. Some people went harder. Other people fell by the wayside. So, I mean, Storm's looking to start training again. But we lost a ton of people. If you really think about it, if you go back to the WL days, you talk about like, where's Mike Solaris?
Where the frig is Mike Solaris? I mean, Mike Solaris was for how many years? Got to be 15 years, like a mainstay of the North American middleweight.
Yeah, it was a staple. And his intensity and all the other stuff that he brought to the table.
Great character.
Yeah.
Where the hell did he go?
Disappeared.
Does anybody still train with him? Does he?
I honestly don't know. And I talk to the New York guys all the time. And no one really has given me a report. I don't know. I mean, I know he's alive and well,
Yeah.
but I don't know, you know.
Sometimes you get that. There used to be a guy back in my area, loved him, a guy called Robert Redden, right? You may have never heard of Robert Redden. Bad mother fluffer. Bad dude. Iron.
Yeah.
Iron-wristed, iron-hand monster. Big training partner with Touye. Fury's guy. And you know, Craig Touye, always been an animal. Redden was cut from that same cloth. Complete beast. Made for the game. Huge forearms, massive hands, rock strong. Gone. Shame, dude. It's a shame when these guys, you know. What happened to Tony Katowski? Where'd he go?
Disappeared.
WL hammer holder, double hammer holder.
Gone.
Where'd he go?
Gone. Haven't heard of him for 2 years. Now, I've talked to people who are in the area and everything, but gone, you know. I think, and that's what's weird, because like I would say arm wrestling is in its golden age right now. You know, like WL was an absolute phenomenal promotion. And I would love nothing more than to have it back. Would love nothing more. But we had WAL in top 8. And now we have East versus West, Arm Wars, King of the Table, Monster Factory. Like, I still think I think we're in the golden age now. You know, this is the time to be pot committed. I know maybe there's not those WAL $20,000 payouts in the first place, but man, there's more opportunity. That was once a year. This is as many times as you can justify being there.
Stacked as balls. I mean, you know, I've got 2 offers on the table right now. I mean, I'm committed to East versus West, and I'll always go help Engin out on that. But I got another one on the same day. They were looking for us to be over, you know, helping those guys out with. They're looking to.
Is that how you can't say?
In North America, I'm not going to say anything because I ain't seen anything released.
Oh, I know. Never mind. I got you.
You know the one. Yep.
100%.
Wanted to do it. Really wanted to do it. Was looking forward to doing it. Will work with those guys, but obviously, I've already told Engin that I'm committed to helping him out on the East versus West.
Those guys are good, and they're doing something big.
And I'm looking forward to working with them. Hopefully, you know, I'll always try, and as I said earlier on, not trying to work against people. I'm trying to get this, help the thing go. I've always been rising tide raises all ships. I really believe that. I'm confident that what we're doing has its own place. Let us know in the chat if you watched Arm Wars Dark Card yesterday, even if you only saw the preview. Did you like it, guys? Hopefully you liked what you saw there. And I want to make it clear for anybody that's out there that feel like, you know, if you did sign up for the Arm Wars membership, please don't believe that this is like a normal. It's not a pay-per-view. You've got a membership, and what you saw last night ain't it. There is so much more. That's just one little element of it. We have a ton of stuff coming your way, which you'll get to see. We caught so much footage with Devon reviewing stuff, doing stuff in the house. We got loads more. Number one, you ain't even seen all the matches yet from the Dark Card. We got some amazing matches still to come that you don't know happened. The idea is we're trying to under-promise and over-deliver for our members. So we wanna give the Arm Wars members a ton of good stuff, and it is coming, and it's coming hard. And we're not going to be slowing down. We're speeding up. We're trying to evolve. Like Paul said earlier, our intention is to get better and better and better. You know, that's what we're trying to do. We've got Engin kicking the living daylights out of the live scene with East versus West, which we love. Roll on, Engin. More power to you, dude. Think you're doing an amazing job. Elite level arm wrestling. And if you don't love the cards that man is doing, I don't know what to tell you. We're doing something very different, but we're aligned with Engin. We're going to work with him and trying to make sure we continue to blow this thing up so arm wrestling gets where it needs to be. You know, that's the plan.
It's 2 different channels too, you know, 2 different pathways.
Yes.
And I think that's so important. I think the toughest part is you're the one, you know, you're the one taking the straight and narrow right now. You're taking the rocky path, you know, because it's taking time. Your endeavor is long play, you know.
It is.
It's not an immediate return. So like, and we have all the fussing about the different things about live and everything else. And I get it. I get everyone's perspective. Like, I'm not like, if that's what you think, I understand. We understand. But when you're in the beta test period for any new startup of anything, you know, whether it's an IT system, you don't think you're going to have bugs. You don't think there's going to be hiccups. Like this is just the pathway to the final product. And it may take 10 iterations, you know, you know, the 2.9 version might be the final, who knows, but this is part of the process, man. It's what
one
it
thing
is.
that is great. The feedback that we're getting from the guys that are members of the channel is friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
I get so many messages from those guys saying,
well, the Palco match got a bunch of views already.
You know, that's the free view.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the free views is doing really, like when I looked at it, it was doing really good. You know, so like
I haven't actually had a chance to check how many views that it got.
I don't know. I want to say it was in 20,000s when I was looking at it. I think.
Nice.
Unless I lost my mind, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh,
and then
nice.
I looked at the Devon Saunders one, and it was way up there too. I think it was the 30s or something. So it's good, you know. And I guarantee you, a lot of those are unique viewers, you know, unique impressions.
Yeah, that's the other thing that we put the left hand out. Devon Saunders full film version.
That was good, man. That was good. Things about that like hung with me when I watched it. Like Devon giving up the final round.
Mate,
did he give it up, or did Saunders just get to go?
I on the night when the cameras were turned off after, I asked him the same question. He said, no, mate. And in his interview after, he said he really had on in the match earlier. There was a match earlier when Devon jumped on him, tried to go for the press.
Yeah, I saw it.
Right at the base, Saunders caught it and ripped him, and it really hurt Devon's arm.
Oh, okay.
Really, really hurt his arm. Straight after the match, he was genuinely down, and I'm like, "Are you all right?" And he's like, "That hurt."
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's what I needed to know, because I thought maybe he just gave it to him. I'm like, Devon don't give nobody nothing. What's going on here?
What I will say is, though, so a little bit of backstory to the whole Dark God 2 thing. So we get there. We make the matches based on the performance that he had with Saunders.
Right.
And that match they weren't going to have. That wasn't like, oh yeah, and this is what we're going to do.
That was for the moment, right?
On that friggin' night, they both went, we got to fucking know. Let's go. So they do it, and it turns out to be amazing, right?
Yeah.
But both guys feel like they're left. Devon said, I ain't trading my left in ever. And Saunders is like, well, I ain't pulling left because my left is injured right now. He's bad. And then, you know, they pull the right, and then it's like, oh, bollocks, let's do it. So they do it. Yeah. Thank God they did it. Awesome, right? We had similar things happen this one, but it's coming. So, oh, mate, it's coming, I'm telling you.
Neil's over there making guys arm wrestle with injuries.
Hey, didn't have to do it. Never asked them. You can never ask them. They were like, you know how it is. Somebody puts a table there. I've got all this stuff on because my wrist is scrapped. And I'm even up there. I'm like, oh,
well, it's funny because your little one-liner of career ending. That's like
actually, you know, it's like,
there goes something.
It wasn't going to happen. So we make the matches based on Devon's left arm, right?
Yeah.
So then we're out at East versus West, literally week before, and I'm panicking because I'm like, I don't want to do it just after East versus West. It's not ideal because what if Devon got injured?
Yeah.
I'm screwed. You know, we've invested all the money in that. I would be screwed. And Devon's like, dude, stop worrying. I'll be fine. Because if we don't do it, then Devon's like, well, there's no other day. I'm completely full from now forever, for ages. So we got to do it. I'll be good. Don't worry. I'm good. And we make the matches based on where he was when he pulled Saunders. So we get to East versus West and we sit down where we go out for something to eat. And Devon's like, mate, I got to tell you something. I'm like, what? He said, right now, I think my left is mega. He said,
hey, was this at East versus West?
Yes.
Let me tell you something.
He said his left was iron.
I think I can shed light on this.
Okay.
So we were we were signing the cards early. Devon and Jody had just got there. And I was talking to Jody. My wife had got her like a bottle of vodka or something because she stole it.
Doesn't sound like your Mrs. Paul.
Hey, Neil, the bottle of vodka that fell out of my wife's purse was Jody's. And my wife told me that, and she sent me to the exchange or whatever to get a bottle to give it back to Jody. So I give it to Jody. We start talking, and Jody's telling me that Devon's he's messed up in the head. He's got some type of body dysmorphia going on. I'm like, what are you talking about? I said, everyone has body dysmorphia. If you're in any type of street, we all have it. And he was like, or she was like, he thinks his left arm is bigger and stronger than his right arm, but it's not. She's like, I measured it for him. I measured like everything, measured like his fingers, his wrist, his everything. It's not bigger, but he goes in front of a mirror and thinks it's bigger and stronger. And then she brings him over and he's like, yeah. And like, and me and Doug are like, what are you talking about? But he's something in his head is saying that my right is smaller and my left is bigger, and I don't know why.
Confident.
Yeah.
Like he said, and this, it was like a total 180 from the guy that had pulled when he was with Sanders. He was like, oh, my left shit. I'm not confident. I ain't trained it. He's like, we're sat down. He's like, Neil, I want to tell you, I think my left is iron, like really iron. I'm so much stronger.
It's correlated, Neil. I'm telling you, this is the same stuff that he was saying. And he was like, I'm not really training it. I'm training it 25% of what I'm training my right on the table. And it's stronger and it's bigger. And he was like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I understand the measurements, but in my head is what I see, is what I think.
And he said to me, without stealing his thunder, right after the thing, he said, I think I said in the interview to him, actually, I think the interview went out straight after the match. And I said to him, obviously there was a time when your left hand was killing it. You know, you beat Travis up on the top at the gathering. And he said, it's stronger now. He said, right now, my left is peaking like a mother fluffer. And I am telling you right now, last time I came over here, my left was pretty shit. I was pulling people all over the place. I was taking losses and wasn't that strong. He said, but before I came over here, I am smacking the shit out of everything that breathes. I can't be beat left-handed. And I honestly think right now, my left is amazing. He said, I think it's rock strong. And he said, I don't know why it does this. He said, it might then fall away again and then it'll come back again. And he said, and I'm on one of those peaks.
Listen,
so I could have beat. He was saying some crazy stuff.
If this doesn't like solidify to everybody that this right here is the most important thing to train, then nothing does. Because his left is not even close to the size of his right. Not even close. Not even close.
Except the pronation. Yes. Jesus, have you seen the pronation in his left?
Yeah. His pronator's blown up.
I've never seen nothing like the pronator in the left is unbelievably big.
Yeah.
Unbelievably developed. You know, I didn't pull him left, so I don't know, you know, but that pronator is something else.
Yeah.
It is ridiculous.
Devon's
I'll tell you what, he's getting matched up differently next time. I don't know who we're bringing, but strong bastard. Anyway, let's talk about this one. So, in my mind, we get Sasha, and we run that back. This time, you're coming after his title because he's our champion. He's the Arm Wars light heavyweight champion of the world right now.
I like it.
I think that's ace. Story's there, amazing. Makes all the sense in the world, and you get an extra round and possibly a silver bullet. Yeah,
you're telling the guy with no endurance to get an extra round.
Hey, listen, I know that you're
gonna fill the gaps. You're gonna fill the gaps.
Yeah, I know you're gonna train that. I know you're gonna train that. It's funny when Mika Sakwaradidze came over, right?
Yeah.
Night before, he's telling us, he says, mate, tomorrow I want to pull you. I don't want to pull this guy. Then I want to pull this guy. And I said, let's see how you go on and how you feel tomorrow night when you've pulled the first day. And the dude sat at a table afterwards like, oh, shit. And he said, and Jody Williams, same. He said, I've never had anything like this. Kevin Palco is still in the chat. Kevin? How hard is Arm Wars, dude? Different thing. Holy... I don't know why.
Yeah.
But it screws you up.
Well, the minute any match stops and you know you got to do 6 rounds, it's
God Almighty.
What it is. And then you got to and you have runners, so there's no stops.
Yeah, and it's I don't know, the format just seems to be different. Seems to put you into stupid situations, and we've had some immoral matches in there, like stupid shit. If anybody hasn't seen Ron Bath versus Yoshinobu the Warlord Kanai, good God, go check that match out on the Arm Wars archive. Ridiculous. Maybe the best arm wrestling match I've ever seen in my life. And I've seen a few. Unbelievable match. It is unbelievable. But Kevin Palco, I can see you in the chat there, mate. And let me tell you, if you're going to start your career with a great match, that's not a bad one. The one that you just pulled,
you're good,
holy
bro.
shit.
You're good.
Amazing to watch. And as I say again, guys, check it out. Get over there and watch that. Watch Paul Lynn versus Sacha Andreev over on the East versus West channel. And then get yourself over and watch Palco Sanders last night. Class. Absolute entertainment 101. So, Paul Lynn, it is now nearly an hour in. We can't be on for too much longer because you've got shit to do. But you've just signed up to pull Ruslan Babayev.
Yeah.
Now, talk about storyline right there.
So that was a match that was partially booked prior. So after Ruslan reached out to Engen and said he wanted to pull me, and which Engen asked to, do you want this match? I said, sure. I normally do. And then like working the dates out and everything, Ruslan couldn't make the date. Time needed more time to train, whatever the case may be. So that got pushed to the back burner, and then some other matches, solo and everything, wound up on Sasha. So yeah, that match popped back up. So I don't know what's really behind it. I don't know. Maybe there's some old, like, I know he reached out to Engen right after the Rooster match, wanting the match. So maybe there's some type of vengeance thing or something. I don't know.
Kickboxer in arm wrestling form.
Possibly. You never know. So yeah, I mean, of course, I mean, we're talking about, again, facing another legend. So
do you know a lot about him, Paul?
I know a little bit. I know when the match was first presented, I started doing some film research and everything, and then it fell through and, kind of backed off on that. So if you have any more insight, fire away. But I've seen a bit. Absolute
stayer. I mean, guys that he's pulled and had matches with. You remember Steve Razor Rao?
Oh, yes.
Had a great match with him. Amazing. He pulled a great match, blinding war against Craig, the Birmingham Bullet Sanders.
Yep.
They, back in the day, a more prime young Craig, they had a screamer. Had some amazing matches. One of those guys that likes to get into the barnstorming stupid matches, loves to get in there and dug in. Some battles coming. I feel like, and I don't want to sort of curse you, you're the favorite.
No, I'm the underdog.
In my mind, I've got you.
Don't you put that evil on me.
Don't
Ricky.
you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. Yeah. But in my mind, I'm a believer.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I'm gonna come in my best form. I'm gonna have a game plan. I'm gonna shore up the endurance, because if he gets a stop, I know it's gonna be a war.
Yeah.
Defensive style puller, grinder. So, in my mind, the last thing I want to do is be in a grinder, but I also understand that I might be in a grinder. I need to be able to grind. Yeah. So, I mean, talking to different people, talking to Engen, like, guidance given from other people is like, work on your defensive style, work on your static center and being able to hold and be patient. So I think that's a gap in my game. I'm so offensive usually, I'll go defensive to get positioned and go offense right away. I need to develop that, and I think in the efforts to develop that, I should be able to develop my gas tank along with it. So that's going to be part of the way I approach it, and then we'll see where the chips fall.
And just for my purposes, this is July card, yeah?
This is August.
I will
be at the July card also.
Let's go. Are you, and you're coaching in the July card, yeah?
I suppose. I mean, Engen offered it to me, and I mean, it was like, yeah, say less. You know what I mean?
So like, on is Rob on August to July?
Rob is July.
Rob is July. So you're out there when Rob's pulling, because that's a great match. How do you see that going?
Oh my goodness, I love that match. I don't know how I see it going. Like I see Rob having options, but Rob being able to potentially win in his least favorable option, depending on how tight he gets.
Yeah.
And obviously we're gonna do our best to get together and share some things up. We've been talking a good bit. Rob loves the match. He loves the match. You know what I mean? Like the opportunity to get to pull Krasny is huge. And it's another one. Like it's not a step back from Zverev. It's almost a step forward. Like Krasny won the last Worlds, didn't he? At 100 kilograms. Like, so where's the weight going to be? I think it's 95 or 98 or something, whatever it is. But so Krasny's going to be at his optimum weight, and so is Rob. And Rob's now going to have like a total of, let's say 18 weeks of dedicated training. So, I mean, I like Rob's chances. I think it's going to be really good no matter what. We're not seeing like a quick match there at all.
No, I see that as a great match. I've tried to make that match myself. Timing screwed us over a couple of times with the WAL. But that match was slated for that. It's been slated for almost a couple of times. Love that match. Think it's great. Love a lot of Rob Bidgent matches. You can put that guy into so many, and he can see the summit, Paul. He's like within touching distance of the summit, without that much work and with a few mental things going on. So if he gets confident and he's the guy, dude. He's the guy.
He's the guy. If he can keep the energy he has right now, he's putting videos out, he's training, his energy is really good. If he keep that energy, which I believe he's going to, if he can keep that energy and we keep seeing a click, 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 we're talking about, the reincarnation of John Brzezinski.
Man, if you, North America unite behind that guy, because like I say, it's blood in the water, and Rob Bidgent Jr. believes in himself big time.
He's hungry. He's hungry right now. He was not jaded or dejected at all by that match.
He shouldn't be, because the man can see the summit.
He shouldn't be. He definitely shouldn't be. But I mean, like when we talked after it, he was, piss and vinegar. Let's get it.
Yeah. Can't wait. I hope Doug's not on a downer as well.
No. I love to see Doug get on the card. It's just about figuring out what a good opponent is for him. Like, I'd love to have Doug, out in August,
Well, I want to get Doug. We've got something coming up in August, and I'd like Doug involved in that. Doug, you are watching, we've got something planned, mate, and I want you involved. So
Doug's another one. Like, he's still only like, whatever, 16, 18 weeks back in or whatever it is. So like Doug is nowhere near his ceiling.
No, he's a comedy strong man.
Oh yeah.
Ridiculously strong lad.
It's ridiculous.
Gym strong. Conditioned, very powerful lad,
and with the ability to transcend multiple weight classes.
Yeah.
So who knows where his sweet spot really is? Maybe it's 85. Maybe it's, who knows? He can make as low as 75. Yeah. He can make it as probably as high as 100 if he wanted to.
He's one of those guys, like, you do feel like if you let his weight go a little bit, he could be special at a couple of spots. Couldn't he? He's very, very strong, and he just pulled a guy in Daniel. He's a guy who is not.
Guy's a weirdo. He's a weirdo.
Oh yeah, complete friggin' oddball.
Yeah, that's like you can't. Like when people throw shade after that match, like, listen, this guy is like he is like, we're talking about like pound for pound, Like, we're not talking about the best in the weight class or whatever. I get it, left arm, right arm, whatever the case may be, but like, he's good.
So here's a question for you. Did you get a chance to speak to, or have you spoken to Adam much after the Baccio thing?
I mean, after the event, like, but Adam's not active on social media. I think he made a post today about the 154 round robin, and congratulating Hunter and some other people. But I know he went to Rome right after Turkey, so he had some time off. And he didn't communicate too much with people. I think Doug might have been in contact with him a little bit, but not a whole lot. I know he made a post out there, about the performance and saying that he's still this is a positive, good, motivating thing for him.
Yeah.
So I think his headspace is good. Adam's very mentally tough, like he's a squared away human being. Like, he's coming from he played at the Citadel. He's still only 26, 27 years old. He's just starting his life, but he's still in that competitive mentality. He's got strong faith. Like, he's not a guy that's going to fade.
No.
at all. He's going to get better. He's going to take this.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to flip it and rename it, you know?
Yeah, I hope that's the case, because I do think that Adam has tremendous potential. And sometimes you really do need to take a step back and just think styles really do make matches. And there's some guys that at that time in your career are just a bad matchup. And I do believe that was a bad matchup.
Well, you can break everything, like hindsight's 2020. When you're looking in the rear view, everything's clear as hell. Like you look at like what Adam's initial game plan was and what Bacho was doing, it just didn't match up, you know? And that happens in so many matches. So many matches look one-sided and they're not. I mean, that's the thing. When you get at that level, and we talked about it, Rob brings it up all the time. You see these 3-0s and you think that there's like a 30-40% strength gap.
And it's not 3%.
It's 1.5%.
Correct. It's a small increment. At that level, you drop the ball this much, you get smacked. And
well, I mean, the worst part is a bad decision making. Like, let's say it's an even playing field. The guy who picks wrong loses. You pick wrong 3 times, you look like you got smoked.
Yes.
You know? So,
I mean, you know, there were some impressive performances that night. Bacho was one of them. Rivas was another one. I mean, Rivas is on an absolute friggin' tear, off the scale. Incidentally, guys, just noticed we've only got 122 likes, and I think about 200 people watching. So do us a favor, mother flappers, hit that like, hit the like button. Hey, and while you're here, give us a sub and sub to this dude, just because he's not got his tank top on tonight.
I put this shirt on just for this show, Neil. I was out doing yard work. I was going to come here.
Our female viewership will have dropped like a goddamn stone. They're not going to tune in for me, am I? I'm part man, part seal. We rely on you to come on in that friggin' tank top, light up the ladies. I'm
not wearing tank tops anymore. I got the Aussie arm wrestler Jake challenged me to shrug offs on Instagram and stuff. He's putting
Shrug-a-thon. Where is Ozzy tonight? I ain't seen Ozzy in the chat. Is Ozzy in the chat?
No, Jake. He's healing his traps.
It's probably a stupid o'clock over there. But I don't. If usually Ozzy goes live after the pick, so look out for Ozzy going live. He may or may not be. Hopefully, I ain't cursed him there. But sometime he does come in the chat. Hopefully, Ozzy will be going live after this. I know he does pretty regularly. But yeah, big match is coming up. What was the other one I wanted to talk about tonight?
Let's run the King of the Table predictions real quick.
Oh,
have you done that yet? We got three matches. It's easy.
Listen,
get right there.
I've had, you know, when you get like loads of messages that are
beat it to death already.
Just some of them are just say, "Oh, a complete mismatch. This is a complete mismatch. This is not an entertaining match." I think some of these are fucking great matches.
Yeah. What are we talking about here?
Really, I've had a shit load of messages saying these matches suck. Some of these are good.
Who's the mismatch? Everybody's going to say Engen and Ray.
What do you think is the biggest mismatch on the card? Is there a mismatch on that card?
Everybody is going to say Engen and Ray.
Engen and Ray.
Doesn't mean it's true. So I broke this down at length with Pradeep. I think that this is a variables match that is like, it's easy to say, all right, legend. You know what I mean? But Engen would not have taken the match if it wasn't a viable match that he believes is going to be a competitive match, in my opinion. So what are the variables involved? Engen's been off the table for a long time. Engen's heavy, he's got to cut weight. Engen had a bicep injury. All these things we don't know. Then we flip it and we say, Ray, super active, 17 super matches in a year, 16-1 or 16-0, whatever. Super active, competing 20, 30 times a year, peaking at his age. You know, and now he's given the opportunity to pull an absolute legend, which is when you're offered this, you don't ask questions. You say, yes, thank you, sir. May I have another? You don't say it's a mismatch. You don't think about it. You just say, yes.
Oh, it's a great target board for him either way.
Are you kidding me? And what happens is you're going up against a legend. You are inevitably going to be forced by the energies in your world to train harder, to eat, to live better until that date and bring the best version of yourself. Yeah. So to me, that's what makes the match a real match.
Yeah. You know? I get where people might be thinking, if you're looking back at Engen and you're thinking, oh, prime Engen. Yeah. But is this prime Engin? I don't know where Engin's at. I even had a conversation with Engin the other day, and I said, "Where are you at, mate?" He's like, "Well, my bicep strength might be 75%, maybe 80% of where it was." Is he? I mean, how much weight has he got to lose?
I don't think too much, maybe like 8 kilograms, but like we're talking about, we're getting close.
So, and he's obviously running around organizing as well. You don't know how much time. I don't know how much time he's got to
stress level,
training.
All these things. So it's the variables. You figure like, okay, look at it on paper and say mismatch, but look at the intangibles that you can't quantify and say, I don't know. And I mean, listen, if I'm making Vegas odds, I have Engin as paper.
Yeah.
So everything you said there, I still have Engin as paper. 2-1.
Yeah, I would agree. And I think Ray would agree. I bet if Rolly was on here, Rolly's in Spain. Hopefully, Rolly, you're having a good time in Spain, mate, on holiday. But if you got Rolly on this show, I am pretty sure he would say, "Look, I can't friggin' lose here because exposure goes up. If I win, wow. If I lose, I lost to Engin."
Yeah,
it's not a problem. It's a great match to have, great problem to have. It's kind of like when you take on a guy that you feel is that far above you, but you feel like you've got stylistically, you may have a chance. He'll be weighing up those variables. Ray will be weighing up those variables hard.
Right. And then it comes down to you as a competitor. Because when you're given a no-lose match, right, you're given an underdog situation, but it's a no-lose, it's protected. Like you're not going to be tarnished if you do lose. There can be a level of like submission to that too, depending on how you are. I just don't have Ray pegged as that guy. I have Ray pegged as the guy who is going to say, "This is my Super Bowl, and I'm going to work." I am going to up the ante.
I can't imagine that you are wrong in that assessment. In my opinion, he's going to be working like an animal. He'll be in the gym every day. Don't forget, this is what he does for a living, guys, right?
Yeah, that's the difference.
He is going to be putting in the time. He's got an amazing camp to work with. He's got guys like Sandra Shedis. He's got other guys that people may not know. Raymond Antonovic, big hands. He's got speed in
How about the dude Tom? The dude Tom's.
He's coming on, and he's another one who's a beast. This guy's got iron sharpens iron, and he's got some animals to work with. If Engin comes in there and Engin hasn't had the opportunity, can his endurance be where it needs to be? Is that race card? If Ray can lose his wrist, manage to hang Engin up, and Engin's been too busy organizing East versus West, his stamina's not where it needs to be. He's coming up 50 years old. Who knows? Who knows? Anything can happen. And it might turn into a super dramatic match.
Well, how are the other ones? How are the other ones mismatches?
I mean, for me, Devon and Dave, I can't imagine that's not a good match. I'll be shocked if it's not a good match.
Let's talk about variables, right? So we have the prior data in WAL, right? So what are we going to do? We're going to say, all right, we saw that ugly double Kings move match. Dave was frustrated, didn't know how to handle it, wrist crack, let me do it too, okay, cool. And then all right, we look at where are the two guys at right now. Dave's struggling, he's had some losses or whatever, maybe there's a neck injury, we don't know.
How valid is that? The neck
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just throwing it out there as a possible. I know that he never completely healed from that nerve thing in his neck. But I don't.
Been out and talk about that, Paul, that you know.
I've never heard Dave use it as an excuse.
I've never heard anybody. So I heard it come out from other people, but I've not heard. I can't imagine that Dave would take this match with Devon if he wasn't.
Dave is not an excuse guy, though. He is not a guy he's the guy that you find out on his deathbed that he, couldn't move his right arm because of something. He's not a guy that's going to tell somebody. So I don't know. I know it's been thrown out there. People have been saying it. Maybe it's a variable. Maybe it's not. But the flip side is we got Devon at close to 290, force feeding, stem cells. He's rejuvenated. He's killing it. So we look at Dave all right, where are they at, right? Is Dave, all right, Dave's had some struggles. Devon's kind of peaking aside from the Gennady match.
Yeah.
But then you take into account the fact that Dave has found a legitimate flop wrist press.
Yeah.
That he did not have in the first match.
And will be as motivated as he could ever be.
Oh, this could go
so. He wants to beat bad. This is that guy.
This match could be so different than we expected to go.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm hearing people saying that Devon's going to hook Dave. Like Pradeep saying, like, I think Devon's going to hook Dave. And I'm like, Devon has never in his career that I know of wanted to hook Dave. But Pradeep's thought is like Dave has become more of an outside top roll puller and Devon's going to force his shoulder. And I'm like, well, imagine if we saw that. That would be great. That'd be like the best thing ever.
I think there could well be some truth in the fact that we may well see a much more orthodox form.
Right.
I really do believe that. I don't expect that it's going to be a repeat of the WL thing. I think we're going to see much more orthodox.
No, we're not going to see Dave drop under the table. If anything, no. Dave's going to go right into a flop. I think.
And that'd be a good move. I don't. I think that'd be a bad move for him if he does that.
Right away?
Yeah, I think if he went straight for that, I think it
100%. You got to arm wrestle before that. At least blow your wrist out before you decide to do it.
Yeah.
Great.
How do you see it? Who have you got and what kind of level?
I got Devon as a favorite. But it's hard for me. I can't root against Dave. I can't root against him. I'll stay neutral or something. But like there's not a fiber in my being that can root against Dave Chase. It's just not possible. You know?
I feel like that the other way.
Okay. Huh?
I feel like that, but the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Devon. I can't. Devon's my guy. You know.
Yeah.
I started his career in friggin'. He's my guy. So I'm 100% in Devon's corner. I love Devon. Most guys, Devon's arm wrestling, with the exception of a few that are of the same ilk. I'm probably going to be picking Devon. If Devon was arm wrestling me, I'd probably be backing Devon.
Who do you have as a favorite? You got Devon as a favorite?
Yes.
I got Devon as a favorite too.
I got Devon as the favorite for a number of reasons. I think he's evolving. I think he's right there right now. I think he's got much stronger in the period of time. The endurance is always a weapon. And I think he's warming up to the fact that he's got enough arm strength to make things interesting for a lot of people. And he's been pulling against very, very dangerous guys and showing that range, that spectrum of opportunity and the fact that he's prepared to take it. And I think over 6 rounds, that longer duration, it does move more in his favor.
Yeah.
You never know.
The other thing that I think plays into the favor of Devon as well is the fact that he's coming off of a loss.
Yeah, I agree.
Like he's
going to have the fire under him like never.
Full weirdo mode.
And he's a professional. The man is a professional arm wrestler. That's what he does. It does make a difference if you're able to do this thing and focus on it full time. If Devon has a weakness, it's the fact that he's so busy and so distracted all the time.
Sure.
That can be detrimental. But I in no way do I see that being a boring match.
No, I don't think so either. There's no way for it to be. There's no lane for flash pins really, unless Dave early on. That's it.
I honestly think my other thing is that I think there's enough emotion in this thing that both men really, really would want to make a statement. Devon probably with more adversarial, visceral intent than Dave would have. Dave's probably not got that in him. I don't think he's about that. I think that Devon loves to fight. He enjoys it, not in a sinister way. I think the guy just loves the combat. It's in him, and I respect that. I get that, and I think it makes for super entertaining arm wrestling matches, which is why he's as entertaining as it gets right now. He's 100% in.
He is.
Everything's in.
Yeah, he's the most famous arm wrestler on the planet for him being himself. He's not being anyone other than himself.
Agreed, 100%. I hope it delivers another ace match. Now let's talk about the Gorilla and more. Now this is another one. Everybody's saying total, complete mismatch. Do you agree?
How? Like based off of who we see where and why. Like, how is Corey not in this match?
You know what I think, right? I agree that I've got Morozov as favorite as well.
So do I.
But I also believe that this is a great opportunity Great opportunity for Corey West to absolutely make a statement on, okay, I'm arrived and I'm at this level. Because right now, he's arm wrestling the guy who's recognized as the man left-handed.
Yeah. Yeah, he's the number one. Yeah, he's the number one. But like, who's the number two?
I think that is bigger question than the right arm.
100%. Not even close. Not even question. Like, who is it? DEVON?
I would say there are a number of guys that, if they're coming in the right form, are right there in that conversation for the number two guy. I really believe there are a number of guys that can come in. LARRATT made a statement the other day. He's out talking to him at East versus West. He was very confident in his left, like, oh, my left's back, and he's gonna be right in the fray again. Friggin' Devon the other day was talking like he might have a run at left again.
Okay. Well, like who are the names? We got David DEVON. Let's throw Vitaly in there.
Yeah.
Let's say
Alex
Krdecha, Alijan Murtov, wherever they are. You know what I mean? Like, we've seen Corey compete very well against Alex.
Yeah.
You know, like, which I think that was a razor close match where it was decisions over strength. And now we're seeing Corey get better, beat, Cody extremely dominantly. Like, I don't know how you could make a match for ARMWRESTLING with anyone other than Corey and not think that you're going to get the same criticism for a mismatch. So who's the guy that's not going to be the mismatch?
Right. So I've got my own like step matches in my mind that I'd like to see. So one match I'd like to see, kind of interests me for Arm Wars, would be Corey West, Devon LARRATT.
Yeah, I love it. I think
Corey wins that match. Corey West, Devon LARRATT, if you're watching, that's a match. Earlier on, I said I'd like to step up that level of competition. Corey West, Devon LARRATT is the match that I will actively pursue.
I love that. I love that match, but I will see Corey as a favorite.
Well, there's the thing.
I see
a lot of people will.
But then you got the 6-round format. You got the 6-round format. That's the wild card.
Yes, very interesting. The other guy I like against Devon, I'm interested against Devon, and I'm also interested against Corey. And I'm sure, happens at Arm Wars, happens at East versus West. We will see. I'm really interested to see where Alijan Muratov is.
Oh,
where's the ceiling? Who the frig? Do you put Muratov against, and this match is another one I like, and I'm sure Engin's all over this, Ferret Osmanli.
Oh, yeah.
With Muratov. Who the wins that match?
Oh, my goodness.
Who would you take?
What's so crazy about Muratov is that he's only at 100, 105 kilograms.
Yep.
And it's ridiculous. Like, I wish this guy lived in Pennsylvania so I get my left better. You know what I mean? Like, unreal. And we're talking about the best supers. Crazy. It's crazy.
Just ridiculous, mate. Absolutely ridiculous. And I'd love to know where the ceiling is for Alijan. But the point I'm making here is, if you look at the left arm, there are a ton of unanswered questions. An absolute ton of unanswered questions.
Because it's not highlighted enough, Like, I mean, and that's not a dig on any promotion. It's just that the general public needs to care more about it. I always talk to Paul Talbot about it. He'll cry up the blues.
Yep.
He's a second fiddle, and it's the rain, clouds, and storms. Yep. But it's true. Like, what's the difference? Like,
exactly that, mate. And look at some of the super entertaining or super exciting prospect matches that are out there. I mean, Jesus Christ, can you imagine LARRATT against Krdecha left?
Yeah.
And they both come in banging?
Yep.
Fucking hell. Ace.
Yep.
There's a ton of great matches out there. So,
I mean, it's so easy to forget how close Oleg Petrenko ran Muratov. Another good match, and we're talking about a 100-kilogram guy.
Yeah.
And to me, those are opportunities for David versus Goliath matches, which are always good.
And don't think that Kirigali Ongabayev can't pull on that arm pretty good too.
Tell me about it.
Because man can arm wrestle on that arm as well. You know, lot of opportunity there, and people do forget about the left. Can be some banging matches. They really can. Be some
It's still arm wrestling. Like half the time when people are up there arm wrestling left, like on a super match series, like the public won't even notice it.
Yeah.
You see two guys arm wrestling. It's a good arm
Well,
wrestling
you know,
match.
we've just put the left arm battleground on for Dev, and there's not as much interest in that. And yet there's these sleepers out there, the guys that can pull really well left-handed and really entertaining.
Yeah.
And I think and hope, touch wood, there is a resurgence of lefties coming up, and we start to see some good matches there, because there's some entertaining matches out there.
It's weird. It's so weird. We're in such when you move into that super match format where everybody loves the super match format, guys only want to pull right because that's all it's like. It's all they see, and then it has a trickle down effect to practice training. People don't want to pull left, you know. So the tournament format is such a good fostering thing for left hand, because it allows for that opportunity. That's one of the things I miss the most. Man, I haven't even they dropped me off the left arm rankings because it's been inactive for a week, which is crazy to me because I pulled
for a year.
Left arm, yes, left arm.
Jeez, have you really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. And
wow.
I train it symmetrically. And I am like, I remember talking to Egan about it. He's like, how good's your left arm? And I'm like, oh, you know, I don't know. Who knows? I don't use it. But it's not far behind. I just don't arm wrestle with it because I'm not given the opportunity.
Are you as proficient technically, Paul?
No, but possibly stronger.
Are you different?
Yes. Yeah, it's more brute force.
But I look some of the left hand specialist guys that I mean, you know, I want Top Rod, I want Merlot. Yeah. Jason, because I rate him highly, you know, not to mention I'll take his ass out fishing when he come over. But Merlot's a guy I'd love to get. No, I love him. I think he's great.
The best right now, if you had to run them in no specific order in that weight class in the United States, in my opinion, are in no specific order. Paul Talbot, Kenny Smith, Justin Bishop, even though he's a little bit lighter, Jason Merlot, Dallas Langston, and Brent Rackers. Left arm. Yeah. That's the dudes right there.
Who wins, Rackers or Dallas?
I would think Rackers.
Ooh, okay.
And I would think, so Kenny Smith.
Rackers and Merlot went to war at the IFA Worlds.
They did.
Right,
and I think
that's left arm on it.
I think Rackers won, didn't he?
Was that left arm that Rackers won? Or am I
making? I think.
Can't think back. I think Brent won on the left in a battle.
Yeah, somebody will correct us in the comments.
Well, I got a super chat that came in a moment ago, I'm pretty sure, from Silky Wilkie. I want to knock that over. So, Silky Wilkie in the mother fluffing house. But Chance will come back to avenge the West. He will tend to the field and exact righteousness upon the card. Redemption from the West, the fury and imperious Chance. Georgians, give up your hands as offerings. Mate, what about them Georgians, though, Silky Wilkie? Jesus. The Georgians. I mean, you can't kill.
Yeah. I like Chance's odds on this one, though. I think he's
Who's Chance got again?
Lachlan.
Yeah.
Or no, is it Lachlan?
If it's Lachlan, I think he's a tough match for Lachlan.
It's either Lachlan or Oleg Petrenko, I think.
Oleg Petrenko's more difficult. Lachlan's got massive strength, but I feel like Lachlan sometimes gets matched against guys that are really big asks for him.
Yeah.
You know,
well, I don't think it's a strength ask for Lachlan. I think it's a style ask.
Yeah, I agree entirely. I would actually feel like Lachlan would have some good offerings if you put him in with a guy that I'd like to see them put Lachlan in with a guy who's not going to run from him, that's going to go straight into that power. Obviously not Hutchins, but I think there's a lot of guys that Lachlan could make really entertaining, really solid matches with. I really do. I think Lachlan could get into some screamers. David Arabulli and Lachlan could be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the thing about it is I thought to beat Arabulli was an inside puller.
Yeah.
And he wound up defensive top rolling, reverse top rolling out. And I talked to some guys afterwards and they said, yeah, he's always been doing that. And I'm like, well, all the training stuff I'm seeing, he's in a deep hook. So I don't know. But I mean, I think that could be a good one because he has to have hook. He has to.
Would be interesting to see if Lachlan could put the brakes on. Just put the brakes on Zurab.
Yeah, right arm.
I wonder. Could he do something? Could he get the brakes on? Stylistically, I think he'd feel very, very comfortable in that match with that kind of arm wrestler.
Yeah.
I think he'd start as an underdog.
I think he'd be able to use a little bit more pronator too, rather than just diving wrist to wrist. I think he could make it like a bigger hook. He'd have a couple options in the setup. It wouldn't just it would be a hook in some fashion, but it wouldn't have to be wrist to wrist or, deep shoulder committed.
And I know there are guys that would like I know obviously Jaggers would like a shot at Lachlan again. He feels like Lachlan put a boot up his ass and he's progressed a great deal. But there's a few good matches out there. I mean, people in the chat now, Phil Wood has just put a Yellow versus Lachlan. So just clear up for me, guys. Is it Lachlan that he's pulling Chance? Just let me know. Unless I've missed
it's Aiello and Lachlan. It's Aiello and Lachlan. I'm not sure.
Aiello and Lachlan. Awesome. Right. Thanks,
Phil.
So that's confirmed. That I like.
Yeah, me too. I talked to Mike about that today. That's why I'm a dumb for saying that. Like we chatted back and forth about it.
Yeah, Aiello and Lachlan is a great match. No, and it says that David Aribulli pulling Matyuchenko. That's interesting. That's interesting.
That's left arm, though, isn't it? Left.
Aribulli's left is better than his right.
That's what I heard. Yep.
So that should be bloody interesting. But yeah, Aribulli's left is better than his right arm. Jody Williams coming back in. I was going to wrap up in a minute, and bloody George's come back in. Jody's going to show and come back in.
Come back in.
Can you believe that? Mother Fluffer's been away, done a show, come back. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Where's he at? I'll give you a system screen. Hey, Jody.
Hey, I'm back, y'all. What's up? What I missed?
You're tagging me out, Jody. I got to roll. My wife's about to cook
we're literally just about to wrap up the show, Jody. No joke.
Damn. Sorry about that, y'all.
No, you're tagging me out, bro. You're tagging me out.
It's not a problem. Hey, Paul, listen. Thank you very much for your time, as always, mate. It's been emotional.
Thank you.
If you're not subscribed to the White Orc, what the fuck are you thinking? Get over there and get sub to this dude. Paul Lynn, Lethal Arms, get over there, guys. Show him some love. He is representing, and he's in some unbelievably entertaining matches. Doesn't know it yet, but he'll be in Arm Wars in 2023.
I think I already got the drift. I caught the drift, guys. All right, take care. Stay blessed, fellas.
Take it easy, mate. Biggity bong. And Jody Williams back in the mother fluffing. How did your show go?
It went pretty good. I mean, I think Candy Passmore will be better than Billie Jean King when we have this Battle of the Sexes match. So that's in a couple weeks on June 3rd in Michigan State Championships in Battle Creek, Michigan.
And she's pulling Dan Severn, former UFC Grand Prix winner.
Yes.
Dear me. Hey, what kind of feedback has that got? Like, has there been feedback, bad feedback? What's that? What's happened with that?
My show?
No, on the whole, intergender thing.
It's still kind of, it was supposed to be Danielle Everson, as Paul said earlier.
Love that
and
girl.
She couldn't do it. Yeah, something happened. But, it's kind of like lukewarm, but it's in a couple weeks. So I told Candy I'll do my best to keep pumping that poster, that flyer out. So that way, the more people see it, the more people can go, And Dan agreed, talking with Steve Pettis, the promoter over there. He talked to him, and he's hoping that by Dan doing this, he can help promote ladies arm wrestling.
So what? Another question, not to take the shine off Candy or anything there, but Paul Passmore is still okay. Is he still pulling hard? Because I know he had serious injury. He was an animal, then he got hurt bad. Is he back pulling strong now over there?
Yeah, he had broke his right arm, and now that it's healed, it's been over a year now. Yeah. He's had a couple of matches with it right, but he's kind of like still waiting for that one, that big match. I'm thinking, okay, he pulled last year at Arizona State Championships. But I think that was a left-handed match. But he's back. He's ready to roll. So it's guys like Passmore, Jerome Loud, just to name a couple guys who are really good, but they don't get the recognition, maybe because they're not the social media icons like some of the other guys.
Jerome Loud is asleep. When Jerome Loud comes in, Jerome Loud is a bad man.
Yes.
That is
Like-
one big-handed motherfucker. I mean, he is thick in the hand and real thick, and he top rolls real well. He's very, very dangerous when he's on his game. Very dangerous. Quite big though, isn't he now? I think he put some weight on. Was he like, what was he, like 242s or something?
Yeah, he pulled the Florida East vs. West qualifier. He pulled the 242 class, and he qualified. So come June 3rd, which is in about, what, a couple weeks? So they got the finale taking place in Virginia, and that 242 class is going to look like just mega. It's going to be, Neil, I'm telling you right now, that
Who's
event
in there?
is just going to
Fire us some names off of who's in the 242s, because Jerome's a big, strong bastard. I know you've got some animals over at that weight as well. So who's the, like, top guys now?
I don't know the list because it's weird. And honestly, Neil, the one thing I wish Arm Wrestling could do, and I know I might be reaching for this, is this: we got so many promotions in the States, but they got different weight classes. So it's bad enough we get a bad rep for having, like, 3 or 4 nationals, because which one's really legit. But we have these ranking systems. So you got the in the hook rankings, and that weight class will be, your 198, your 220, 242, and 243 and over. However, in the arm fighter, which is just United States, right? Then now you got your heavyweights is 231 and over. So it's kind of weird that way, because then you get a different name, and you know what I mean? So it's kind of weird that way.
Be nice. I'll try and keep an eye on that, because I want to see who's coming up in that class as well over in North America. So I keep hearing the name. Pretty sure it's Nick Stone. Is kicking some ass over there. Everybody tells me this is a guy you got to have your eye on. When I was at East versus West, people kept saying, "Hey, guy is legit." I know that Paul had said that, so I'm keeping my eyes open. I've been checking him out, just checking out as many guys as I can over there and seeing who are the rising stars. And there's the kid. He's bigger than that, but there's that like 17 or 18-year-old kid. Looks like a mother fluffer from the Hair Bear bunch or something. Dead wrist presses, look, with the glasses and fuzzy. He's ace.
Yes. Well, the thing is, Neil, is that 2023, we have a lot more younger pullers now in the States than we did 6 years ago. Meaning that 6 years ago, anybody who was 17 years old, 18 years old, 19 or 20, they were kind of like, yeah, it's arm wrestling, I'll watch it. But now there's more 17-year-olds or 20-year-olds now, fast forward to 2023, than it was 6 years ago. So the sport's catching on, and I think, with all the promotions, going on, people are kind of going, oh, I like this, A lot of it's location. I live in Central Oregon, so we don't have a whole lot to choose from, where the main city in Oregon is Portland, obviously. So, a lot of people kind of go there, but it's picked up, and I like where it's going. I really do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good times for arm wrestling worldwide right now. Kevin Palco's still in that chat, hanging with us tonight. Oh, Silky Wilkie flying in with a super chat. Thanks, Silky Wilkie. Much appreciated as always, brother. He's put Devon did Menderes dirty with the hands. Free goal spin in the last round. Jesus, talk about playing with your food. Devon dresses up flambés. It too. And that's his idea of a chef's kiss. He did. I felt bad for Menderes. He put it to him, mate. Fair play to you, Silky Wilkie. He did put it to Menderes. Warrior had to ride through a very, very difficult scenario there. Devon was
question, because the fact I respect what you and James do, I'm like this. I'm like quiet when it comes to that, because I don't know what I can and cannot talk about. So I just kind of didn't say anything, and I just don't want to ruin that kind of aspect of it. So but
we don't talk about it too much, just to let people go and see, go, if you ain't seen the stuff, get over there and check it out, guys, because it is, there's some serious friggin' matches on play there. But one thing I would say now to anybody who's just joined the show, wasn't on earlier, if you have not seen Kevin Palco and Craig Sanders, if you've not, if you want to see some other amazing stuff coming, also, we got some stupid stuff coming your way for the members. Believe me, that hasn't gone out yet. A lot of stuff coming from friggin' Iron House 3 that is stupid level. That's coming soon. That starts to launch very, very soon, Jody. We're like a way, and Iron House 3 starts to air. stupid stuff. So the members are going to see a lot of things they didn't expect. And we got all the big plans coming up. But the next start card's going to be bigger, going to be better, going to be further out, better planned. We're looking forward to it very much. I want to jump off here now, get away. I've been on here for ages and I'm absolutely ruined. So I'm going to dive in the shower. I would imagine, although I ain't seen him, I don't think, tonight in the chat, unless I've missed it. I ain't been looking a lot. That Jake Ward will probably be going live now. So if you just can't get enough of your arm wrestling, get over there. Hey, yes. Silky Wilkie, dude, listen, brother, don't worry about it. Seriously, mate, don't worry about it. It's really not a problem, buddy. You know, we put it out there for a reason last night. Not a problem at all. Go for it. Go for your life. Everybody, a lot of people have seen it. I know there'll be spoilers all over there now. I've been busy as hell today, so I ain't checked it out, but I know that people have put stuff out. Really not a problem, mate. Matches are there to be spoken about once they've gone out. That's the reason we put them out at that time. Thank you for your support of the channel as always, mate. I know you're a big supporter of the channel, and we really do appreciate that. If Jake is on live now, guys, I don't know whether he is or he isn't, but go check out Jake's show. He'll be going live soon. If you are not a follower of and a subscriber to Chocolate Mother Fluffin' Thunder, get over there and check this guy out. You have no clue what's coming. Arm Wars Iron House 3, this guy goes to work. Look, busy boy, very busy boy. He is. Mate, I've got to say before we kill off, right, when you were watching Falco last night, were you not thinking in your mind, I know how that feels when you're in one of these crazy ass forms?
Dude, that's exactly, I was like going, dude, I know exactly how he feels. And it's just like going, my man, trust me, I know firsthand how that feels. So, but yeah,
I was laughing my ass off behind the mic, mate. That because he's like, "Oh, you think it's going to be a battle?" I'm saying, honestly, dude, he wanted to go into a screamer. He said, "I hope I come and just make a mega match and just make a good impression and let people see the real Kevin." He was so keen to get in there. And holy Christ, if you're going to start your career with a war, I mean, holy shit.
I'll say this to the viewers out there still watching, Neil, that when you ever go to an Arm Wars promotion, for some reason that does something to you. It makes you go deep into yourself and go, okay, what do you have to offer? It makes you do that, you know. And Kevin Palco, my man, you made me proud because he left everything, I mean, every ounce of sweat, everything on that table.
I was saying at the start of the show, he's just pulled in this 12-man round robin. I don't know how. I don't know how, because he pulled every single day while we're over there. Yeah. After the event, pulled every day, like a lot. So his elbows must be, his wrist, his shoulder must be smashed to pieces. How do you pull the week after?
I mean, I tell you what, that's a dominant, like, when I say lunchbox, I don't want to disrespect him because he's a guy that clocks in, puts in the work, clocks out, go home, meaning that, hey, I'm here to work. And that's what he did.
I listen, yourself, Mika Sakwaradze,
yes,
wild ass that is, Austin Jaggers, love that guy. Love me some Austin Jaggers. How can you not love Austin Jaggers? He's ace. All the guys came over to the Iron House 3, pull their ass off. You'll see it very soon. Friggin' Kevin Palco, welcome to Arm Wars. Welcome home.
Yes.
Born to do it.
And I'm telling you right now, it's only a matter of time before we see, you know, some more people out there. Because I'm telling you right now, when you go out there, you know, who's not a fan of Justin Hyatt? Who's not a fan of Elliot Eccles? You know, John Terrian, Kevin Palco, Mika. I'm telling you, when you go out there, I mean, these characters, you're like going, who in the bloody heck are these guys? And I'm telling you right now, they make you want to follow them each and wherever they go. They make you want to follow them. So
I've got a little plan. It's an evil plan, but it's one I'm working on, and I love this. So, little transatlantic challenge thing. Okay, where we get a squad of the USA guys come over take on the squad of the Brits and Western Europeans across different weight classes. And I tell you what, I'm thinking we're trying to pull this together now for August. I think it could be awesome. Mika Sakvaradze involved, yourself involved, Palko involved, Deep Clean, Dustin Hyatt involved. Get a few of these guys over and just mix it up and smash each other to bits. Last man standing, can't wait. I think it could be awesome. All we need is a really big house and a team.
Yes.
That's all we need. I mean, that's all we need, and it can happen. All we need, guys, just that. Alex Cadet Jenner and me, Gasparini. Let's fucking go.
Can you imagine? That's what it's all about right there.
Hey,
that's what it's all about.
My friend, it can happen. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Jody, thanks for dropping in, mate.
Yes, no problem.
We're going to jump off. As I say, if you're not already subbed to Jody, get over there. Check this guy out. Show him some love. Top class guy. And keep your eyes out for this fella in the Iron House 3. Kevin Palko, we love you. Not My Monkeys, we love you too. And everybody else. Buzzer Drews, that's my guy in the mother-flubbing chat. Just looks at Marco GT5, World's Strangest Man. Phil Woody is a legend. Timmy Turner is a mother-fluffing legend. And the old broken guys just come flying in out of left field because he's also the bollocks. Ladies and gentlemen, it is 23:20. That's 11:20 here in the UK. I am absolutely muffed, and I'm going to call it a night at that. Get over to Jake while I dive in the shower, and we'll see you again soon. If you're not subscribed, guys, please give us a sub. Give us a sub. Give us a like, and get that Arm Wars checked out. We will see you again soon. Take it easy, peeps. Take it easy, bomb.